All right, so I've made this slab. I let it sit for a little while. I want it to set up a little bit so I can cut it nice and clean, but I don't want it to be too mushy, so I'm totally messing it up. I made a template. This is a 5-inch square, perfectly square. I measured it. I used a triangle to make sure that my edges were square. That's really important. And so now we're going to talk about how to make this angle or bevel cut. So you want to lay this down on your slab with some space around it. If you're working with slab that's somewhere between 1/4 and 1/2 inch thick, I have found if you lay a chopstick down, one of the straight chopsticks, not a real tapered chopstick, or slide the taper so it's out of the way, just off the edge of this template, and then you lay your cutting tool on that chopstick and kind of hold it at a nice angle, you can get a nice consistent angle cut. This is hard. It's kind of clumsy with your hands. You could freehand it. It's clay, so it will flex and bend when you go to put these together. So it's not like critical that that angle cut be exactly a 45-degree angle cut. You have some kind of like a leeway, if you will. All right. So well, you can see the knife stuck and everything moved. So I gotta reposition my template here. That will happen. But see, I can also come in here with the knife and just kind of hold it at what I think is close to a 45-degree angle. Boom, and then I got one. Remember, all scrap, you should go straight into a bag with your scrap, trying to keep the air off the scrap. I'll post a video that shows you how to deal with all your scrap here in a short while. All right, so you can use that chopstick method or you can choose to freehand it. It's totally up to you. Remember, you want a nice angle on there though. We're trying to mimic a 45. Now, if the slab that I make is not a good slab, am I going to be able to make good parts to my geometric form? Good parts to my cube? No. Your parts aren't going to be any good if the slab's no good, right? So you'll have to kind of do this until you can get a good slab. It can be a little frustrating. So there I've got a couple. I can't quite fit a third in that line. So I'll put a third one right here. Got to remember, you need some space around these things so you can get that bevel cut. Oop, that one was kind of ugh. Remember, I'm going to take all these scraps, get them put away. Okay. Scraper's a very handy tool here in this case. I kind of lift this one up. Now I want to be careful. I don't want to like bend this thing because I want it to stay really flat, right? Because a cube has flat sides. And then check it out. Look what I can do. I can start stacking these up. So there's one. I have a manual here that I don't need because you can find all your manuals online, right? So I'm just using the pages from the manual. You see, I noodled it a little. I kind of messed it up when I picked it up with the scraper, but that's okay. You want to just try to keep them relatively flat and not mess them up too much. So I need to keep going until I have 6 of these. Once I have all 6, maybe you do it in stacks of 3, you want to take this and wrap this up in plastic so that it doesn't dry out too much, all right? But you need 6, right? And it's great to have them all in the same sitting, all right? So my last step would be to wrap this up in plastic. I obviously can cut more out of here. This is going to be scrap, so I'm going to get rid of this. Put this in the scrap bag. All right.